Canada has slammed the door shut. Sources close to the story reveal that Meghan Markle recently made a private plea for support as financial pressures mounted. The response from Canadian officials, however, was stark. No rescue, no funding, no repeat of the role Canada once played when she and Prince Harry first stepped away from royal duties. The message was clear: we will not save you again. Insiders say Meghan was left stunned, not because Canada lacked resources, but because the country that once extended sympathy has now drawn a firm line. Behind closed doors, Ottawa decision-makers reportedly feel they already went above and beyond once, and have no intention of becoming the safety net for another cycle of public drama. The patience that existed in 2020 is gone. Back then, when Meghan and Harry first left the crown, Canada had welcomed them with goodwill. There was understanding, a sense of fairness. Officials believed they were helping a couple navigate a difficult transition out of public life. At the time, Canada had no reason to foresee being dragged into a drawn-out reputational battle with the British royal family. They did not anticipate being cast, even indirectly, as a stage for scorched-earth attacks on the monarchy. That misjudgment, insiders say, changed everything. People familiar with Ottawa's thinking describe lingering resentment over how quickly the narrative turned hostile. What began as a temporary refuge spiraled into a far messier situation. Accusations escalated. Institutions were drawn into public feuds they never signed up for, and Canada quietly but firmly decided it would not repeat the experience. The relationship has been frosty ever since. Where Meghan was once welcomed, she is now approached with caution. Some sources go further, claiming Canadian authorities privately consider her a reputational flight risk, someone who arrives amid controversy and leaves institutions to handle the fallout. That perception intensified after high-profile media deals fell apart. When Spotify executives reportedly labeled the couple grifters, the comment reverberated far beyond Hollywood. Governments, brands, and partners noticed, confirming patterns they had already observed: grand promises, constant friction, diminishing returns. From Canada's perspective, the pattern was unmistakable. Meghan enters a circle. Tensions flare. Accusations mount. Relationships fracture. Then she moves on, leaving others to manage the damage. Canadian officials, insiders say, want no part of that cycle. This decision reflects a broader trend. Dubai has reportedly stepped back, seeing Meghan as too volatile for a city built on image stability. Saudi Arabia has shown no interest, declining to engage with someone deemed unpredictable and difficult to manage. In every case, the reasoning is consistent. Meghan is seen as using countries as marketing platforms, rather than respecting their limits. Canada's refusal carries symbolic weight, signaling a complete reversal from 2020. Back then, there was genuine sympathy, especially for Harry. Canadians largely viewed him as a man torn between duty and personal happiness. Meghan, by extension, benefited from that goodwill. But over the years, reports of her behavior have steadily eroded trust. Allegations of bullying, claims of narcissism, and stories of collaborators quietly walking away have piled up. Each incident alone might have been manageable. Together, they reshaped how potential partners see her. Brand deals slowed, sponsors hesitated, invitations dwindled. Sources say this has left Meghan anxious about money and relevance. The once steady stream of opportunities has shrunk to a trickle. Those close to her describe a relentless search for the next paycheck, the next angle, the next narrative twist that might lure platforms like Netflix or Spotify back. It was in this climate that the appeal to Canada reportedly occurred, and failed. Even more damaging are whispers surrounding Harry. Sources claim he quietly approached Canadian contacts about a possible loan, citing security costs. That request, too, met resistance. The message remained consistent: Canada would not bankroll their lifestyle, nor entangle itself further in their affairs. Meanwhile, murmurs about Harry's mental state have grown louder. Those who've seen him describe a withdrawn, subdued man, often spotted walking alone, head down, avoiding attention. The contrast with his former public confidence is stark. According to sources close to him, Harry has begun quietly confronting the reality of what he's lost: his role, his family, his sense of place. He is said to reminisce frequently about life in the United Kingdom, the structure and identity he once took for granted. Some even suggest he's exploring whether there's any path, however narrow, back to England. Those same insiders say he no longer speaks with the certainty he once displayed while defending Meghan against every criticism. Where he was once bold and defiant, he is now measured, cautious. Where he once confronted, he now avoids. Interviews are meticulously controlled. Questions about Meghan are reportedly off-limits. One person familiar with the matter claims Harry has made it clear he will walk away from any conversation that drifts toward her controversies. For observers, the shift is striking. Friends say Harry is finally seeing the full impact of his choices. He gave up his place in royalty to stand by Meghan, burning bridges that may never be rebuilt. Now, as institutions turn away from her, he finds himself increasingly isolated, cut off from the life he abandoned, and uncertain about the one he chose. Canada, watching closely, reportedly wants no further involvement. Officials reportedly believe any renewed association would pull the country back into a saga it worked hard to escape. From their perspective, the risks far outweigh any goodwill gestures. So, what lies ahead for Meghan? Insiders paint a grim picture. Options are shrinking. Countries once considered friendly are drawing firm lines. Brands are hesitant. Platforms are skeptical. The narrative of victimhood no longer opens doors the way it once did. Without institutional backing, Meghan is left to fight battles alone. Rumors of reinvention, relocation, and finding a new audience persist, but skepticism runs deep. Many believe wherever Meghan goes next, the same patterns will repeat. Initial curiosity, friction, and eventual withdrawal. Canada's refusal is just the latest confirmation of that trajectory. Once Meghan and Harry were symbols of compassion and change. Now they are cautionary tales. And Canada, having learned its lesson the first time, has made it clear it will not be drawn in again. As financial pressure rises and support systems crumble, the contrast between them sharpens. He appears introspective, even remorseful. She appears combative, seeking someone else to blame. Meanwhile, Canada drew its line, and the fashion world quietly followed. According to insiders in European and U.S. luxury circles, major fashion houses have now fully turned their backs on Meghan Markle. Not just for optics, but due to repeated complaints about her behavior toward staff. The private message is consistent: intimidation, entitlement, and an expectation that rules simply do not apply to her. Several fashion insiders claim Meghan routinely pressured assistants, PR teams, and retail staff into bending protocols, demanding private rooms, special access, and creative authority she hadn't earned. When those demands weren't met, her tone reportedly shifted fast, raised voices, public embarrassment, even threats to escalate. The same pattern described in the Chanel fallout, the Paris fashion gate crash, and the Beverly Hills incident is now cited across multiple brands. Executives reportedly said they refused to expose employees to that environment. One insider summed it up bluntly: "We're not paying six figures for staff to be yelled at by someone who isn't even a client anymore." Fashion houses, especially after years of internal cultural reform, are particularly sensitive to staff morale. And Meghan, they say, represents the opposite: domineering, status-obsessed, dismissive, constantly questioning why other women outperform her, why she isn't front row, why creative control isn't handed over. Several brands reportedly shared notes after separate incidents and reached the same conclusion: engaging with her creates more internal problems than publicity is worth. That's how the informal blacklist formed. No memo, no announcement. Just a tacit agreement that Meghan is not worth the trouble. For someone who once leaned heavily on fashion as her last remaining symbol of relevance, that rejection hits hard. In an industry where reputations spread faster than press releases, once staff complaints circulate between houses, there's no going back. The question now looms: with Canada saying no, Dubai and Saudi Arabia closed off, and brands and platforms stepping away, where does Meghan turn next? For the first time, there may be nowhere left to run.